It's October! Right! Hello party people, it is DQ here, back at you again with yet another video. If you are brand new to my channel, have no idea who I am, welcome. My name is Dayquan Damas, but I go by DQ, and I bring you videos about Germany and Australia. If that sounds like your cup of tea, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. And yeah, guess what today is? Well, today is actually October 2nd, it is Friday, but when this video is live, it's gonna be October 5th. And guess what? October 5th is my birthday! I am so happy it is October. Even though we are having a little bit of struggle with COVID and everything, I'm still gonna live my life to the fullest, and I am gonna enjoy my birthday and not live with the whole, oh man, COVID ruined my birthday. I'm still gonna enjoy it, still gonna have a smile on my face and whatnot. And yeah, gotta live today for exactly that, for today. I am 28 years old now. I can't believe it. I don't know where the time has gone. 2 more years, I'm gonna be 30. The struggle is real. Oh man, what is going on? Time is just going by so fast. I want to be 18 again. Can I please be 18 again? Please let me be 18 again. But anywho, let's get into this video. So today's video is actually going to be about why you should move to Australia. I lived in Australia for 2 years, and unfortunately due to COVID, I am back in the US. I lost my job. I was not expecting for this to last so long. I was like, oh no, I'll be back in July or whatnot. So I went home at the end of March, and now I'm stuck in the US, and I can't wait till things clear up so I can move back to Australia. And yeah, I still have a lot of my stuff over there, my clothes and whatnot, because I really wasn't prepared to be back in the US this long. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, here are 5 reasons why you should move to Australia, and 1 bonus reason. And trust me, you want to stay around for that, because I think it is the best reason to move to Australia. But yeah, let's go. Number 1, the weather. Okay, this might be regional because it does get cold in Australia, and Australia actually gets more snow in their mountain ranges than in Switzerland in their mountain ranges. Woo! Let's do that one over. Australia gets more snow in their mountain ranges than Switzerland does in their mountain ranges. I know, it's hard to believe that Australia actually gets more snow than Switzerland. I did another video about that, and I'll put the link up here for you guys, but this one is definitely regionally dependent. If you're gonna be in Queensland or the Northern Territory, the weather is gonna be nice all year round. Depending on where you are though, in the Northern Territory and Queensland, it will get super humid in the summer. When I say super humid, I mean super humid. I was living up in Cairns, and I would walk outside with my hair wet after the shower and everything, and people told me that were native Australians not to walk around with wet hair because I would end up getting like moldy patches on my body and everything. Wait, I'm supposed to be telling you why you should be moving to Australia. Yeah, but still, this is definitely a reason. You'll end up with like moldy patches and everything, and I didn't really believe it, but some of my friends, because I was backpacking, some of my friends over there ended up getting those moldy patches, and they were just like, they thought it was something else, but it was literally just skin mold. So you can't walk around with wet hair, but it's nice weather all year round in Queensland. It might be too hot for some people, but you know what? I love the sun and I love warm weather. I can't stand the cold. I lived in Boston all my life, and you get so much snow. We used to get about 4 feet of snow, which is, I'm 5'5", so pretty much almost my height of snow every year in Boston, so I'm over it. It gets black and dirty after a while, and I'm just so sick of it. So if you want nice warm weather, go to Queensland or the Northern Territory. You will love it, and it's absolutely amazing. Sydney and Melbourne, I know those are the big cities that people tend to know. They do get a little bit cold, but it doesn't get as cold as it does in Boston and everything. So yeah. Number 2. So Australia has a very low population density. What that actually means is there is actually 6.4 people per square mile in Australia. To put that into perspective, Australia is almost the same size as the US. But the US has around 330 million people, whereas Australia only has 25 million people. So that's a lot of room that you actually have in Australia to actually do your own thing. With that being said, around 76% or so of the population in Australia actually live on the coast. So that's not just the East Coast, but that's also the West Coast, and that's also in the South and also in the North. Obviously, Sydney is the most popular city in Australia, but believe it or not, it's not the capital. The capital of Australia is actually Canberra. Pretty sure you never heard about that. Since there's not a lot of people, there's also not a lot of competition for a lot of things. I know a lot of people are like, what about that apartment and everything? But even still, not having a lot of people, you don't really need all these buildings and everything that the US has, the overcrowding, the overpopulation, and then the inflation when you're in larger cities, and it's so much crowding and whatnot. It's just absolutely crazy here in the US. So if you want a country that doesn't have a lot of people, but has really good opportunities, such as the next two reasons why you should move to Australia, definitely go there. So coming in at number 3, jobs and pay. Australia is absolutely amazing when it comes to jobs and pay in the world. I'm not quite sure what it is right now due to COVID, but Australia before COVID has some of the lowest unemployment in the world at only 5%. Again, this might be a little bit different now because of COVID and everything, and unemployment has gone up in the world drastically. Tourism is down. A lot of countries are going into recessions because the money isn't there. But Australia does it right. Even their pay is absolutely insane. They also have 3 different categories for work. So they have full-time, part-time, and casual. So what these all mean, obviously full-time means you're working 30 hours or more a week. Part-time is under 30 hours a week, and then you have casual. So casual is a type of way of saying that 1, you can work as many hours as you want, and 2, you are very flexible with your job. So working casual means you actually don't have a contract with your job. Unfortunately, that does mean that every day you leave your job, you're theoretically terminating your contract or your employment with that job. But what that also means, if the job doesn't need you anymore, they can easily say, hey, sorry, we don't need you, or they can cut your hours. You're pretty much the first one out if anything like COVID or something happens. But what's really good about being casual is literally the flexibility. You can go on vacation when you want, take all the time off, because when you're on full-time or part-time, you have a contract and you have to work those hours a week, and you have a certain amount of paid time off. You do have unpaid time off if you are full-time or part-time, but again, you have that contract where you have to work a certain amount of hours. They also have some pros and cons to being in both. Like I said, full-time and part-time, you have that paid time off, but you also get other benefits such as maternity leave, vacation time, sick days, etc., etc. Whereas casual, you do not have all of that. Another benefit of being a casual worker is that you are actually paid more than a full-time or part-time worker. Let me explain. A full-time worker might have a contract with a set pay, and a part-time worker will also have the set pay. But let's just say you are going to a job that pays minimum wage. So that full-time or that part-time worker is going to make the minimum wage, which is around 19 to 20 Australian dollars right now. Whereas a casual worker will probably make around 25 or more dollars an hour. To make up for that, not having the benefits and everything, it is what it is. But because of these different ways of being paid, Australia is actually killing it in the job market, and yeah. And if you're Australian, you can also work these 3 titles, and if you're a foreigner, you can as well. But again, if you're only going to backpack and whatnot and be there for a few years, then casual is the way to go. So since we're talking about jobs and everything and the pay, let's go into healthcare. Australia is actually killing it in healthcare. They have one of the best healthcare systems in the world, and their basic Medicare covers pretty much all Australians. There is private healthcare that you can also get. Me, personally, being American and unemployed right now because of COVID and whatnot, I am uninsured. So I do not have any health insurance. That is the US, that is what it is, and right now the US can't even get their mindset right on if they're gonna give us unemployment or the stimulus check, etc., etc., etc. Whereas Australia has been giving 70% of their wages to its citizens. They did have a deadline on this, But as far as I'm aware, this deadline has been extended due to COVID being here much longer than what we actually expected. There are so many Americans that are uninsured and do not have any health insurance, and so a lot of people are more willing to be sick or self-diagnose and try and cure themselves by looking stuff up on the internet than actually going to the doctors, because it literally costs an arm, a leg, and maybe a kidney to get seen in the US. It is absolutely ridiculous and unaffordable, but Australia actually does this right, much like a lot of other countries as well. So, number 5, things to do. Australia, again, is killing it in things to do. Me, personally, I am an adrenaline junkie. I tried so hard to find a bungee jump here in the US, and we don't really have any options. You have them from bridges and everything, but you don't have the heights that Australia does. So Australia has a 50-meter bungee jump. New Zealand has a 142-meter bungee jump. They are killing it in things to do. I also got my dive license in Australia. I went diving with sharks and with whales. It's just so much you can do in Australia. They have the 3 largest sand islands in the world, so if you like off-road driving, that's definitely one place to go. The Great Barrier Reef, I love it. I've been so many times, did 40 or so dives at the Great Barrier Reef. It's absolutely amazing. The skydiving from 15,000 feet. If you want something to do, Australia has it. And what is Australia also known for? Beaches. Woo! I went surfing for the first time and I was terrified because there were people walking around with crutches and everything, and I'm like, I don't want to twist a knee, I don't want to do anything hurtful to my body, but it didn't happen, and I was so happy. And even in my photos for the surfing, I'm literally like leaning back and smiling. It was so cool. I loved it. It's the time of your life, and I can't wait to be back on a surfboard. Yes, you can go surfing here in the US. You have Cali. Can you go surfing in Florida? I don't really know. When I was in Miami, it didn't really look like you can go surfing. The waves didn't look like they were that good to go surfing on. I could be wrong. If you know any better and have been surfing in Miami, let me know in the comments down below. All in all, each country has their pluses and their minuses, but Australia is actually killing it in some of these areas that the US is actually lacking. And stay tuned for my video next week where I actually tell you on how you can actually move to Australia. It might be easier than you actually think because it's not that difficult. And to end this video, let's go into our bonus tip. I said this in a video before, and I'm gonna say it 100 million times because this is definitely the best reason to go to Australia or actually move to Australia, because you will fall in love, and that is the quokkas. The quokkas are so cute, they're so amazing, and they can only be found on Rock Ness Island in Australia. They do not have any natural predators, and so they are not afraid of people, and they will actually come up and take photos with you. Yes, you may need to take a couple of times, or they might be sleeping or something, but they are absolutely adorable, and they smile at the camera and whatnot. It's so cute. And oh my god, you really need to go just to see these gorgeous, precious animals. To see more videos like these, hit one of these videos on the screen right now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.